Hey everyone, it's Lan, also known as Jake, and today we're going to be reviewing the Genesis Hellfire. Alright, before I start, I want to make clear that this review is geared towards people who maybe have never even stepped on a longboard before. I know when I first started, I had never even stepped on a skateboard, so if I say some things that seem trivial and like you should know them, don't be alarmed, that's just for people like me. Alright, let's get into it. Within this review slash evaluation and tips and tricks and whatnot, I'm going to be covering the main issues, the things they got right, how to use the board, some tips and tricks, and how to take care of it, all in that order. So let's get right into it. First and foremost, this is insanely fun to ride. I love it so much. But here are some main issues. Let me say this. First and foremost, do not buy this board if you are buying it for the specs that they describe on the website. I can preach that all day long. It's a great board and I love it. Get it. But if you're buying it for what they say, don't do it. Here are the main issues why I say that. First off, the trucks come absolutely way too tight. Now, that's not a big issue. They didn't claim they came not tight. But you're definitely going to loosen the kingpin a lot on both your trucks. The kingpin is the big bolt that holds the wheels to the board. The more you loosen it, the more you'll be able to rock back and forth and turn. They were way too tight when I got it, so make sure you do that. Secondly, if you loosen the trucks too much, you're going to be wobbling at high speeds and it will be very scary. So you're going to have to sacrifice, do you want tighter turns or do you want to go fast? Honestly, if you're riding this in areas where there's a lot of people, you're taking a lot of turns, well, you should have the trucks looser and you're not really going to be going that fast anyway. But once you go as quick as you can on those loose trucks, watch out, you will start wobbling and it's very easy to fall off. I didn't crash, but I caught myself and probably pulled a tendon, so be careful of that. Thirdly, the brakes are insanely sensitive. When you go forward, well, it seems I'm getting a call. Hold on. Hello. Anyway, the brakes are insanely sensitive. Also, taking off, feather them both ways or you're going to fly off one way or the other. And fourth, anyone looking for an electric longboard should already know this, but everything that they claim on the website of anything you're buying is assuming the best possible standards, assuming you're weighing like 90 pounds and traveling in a straight line the entire distance of your ride, which is not the case in reality. So if you weigh 160-ish pounds like I do, you're going to be able to get, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes out of the ride before it starts slowing down where it's not even worth riding anymore. If you weighed like 90 pounds, you might get a lot more time out of that. Everything you do is going to be based off your weight, your riding style, and whether you're going up or down hills. Those will all contribute to battery loss. On the website, they claim that it goes 20 miles an hour. Well, if you weigh anything above 130-ish, 150-ish, no, that's not true. It'll go close to that, maybe 15, 17, but if you unlock it, which I will show you how to do later in the video, you can reach about 20, pretty darn close. So that statistic can be true if you weigh a certain amount and ride a certain way, but in most cases, no. It is insanely fun to ride. When they claim that on their website, they are right. I'm going to say it a million times. I love this board. Now, its battery can be replaced easily. I mentioned that earlier. Great addition to the product. And it's pretty quiet. That's something they also claim, and they're right. I was surprised by how quiet this board is when you're out on the street. With the sound of the road, other cars or people, you're barely going to be able to hear someone going by unless they're full power revving that thing from pretty much going slow or standing still. So I'm sure you want to hear what that sounds like, so it's a good thing I have a good mic. Let's take a listen. Gosh, I love the sound of that thing. Now listen to it when I unlock it. I'll explain how to do that later, but it goes even higher. See, listen to the two compared. One is obviously faster than the other. They claim the unlocked can go up to 27 miles an hour. That's not true unless you're extremely skinny, but it is terrifying and super fun to go that quick. How to use it. This is pretty important. First looks, this is very small and this was very large. When I got it, I was so happy. It was much bigger and much smaller than I would have expected. So how to use this. We take the remote, we slide this up. This is now on. Apologize for the noise real quick. For the board, we press this power button right here once. You see this lights up blue, this lights up green. Now we were on. 100, all four is 100%, 75%, 25%. Then obviously when they're all gone, it's dead. Pressing forward, wheels spin. You want to ease into it so you don't die. Full speed. And then braking is backwards. Be very careful on the braking. We went over that. Very quick. Press this button once. You are now in reverse. Simply polarizes the wheels differently so they can go in reverse. Press it again. You are now in forward. And that is it. That's the whole system of using the board. Now to go in the unlocked mode that I talked about, you simply press, make sure the board is off, then you press this 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now with our remote on, you can already hear the difference. There's actually a threshold that I can hear when it crosses, so see if you can tell. Did you catch that? It was when you heard that struggling noise, if it was grinding. That's when it crosses that safety mechanism and it goes into the fastest that it can go. Now about them tips and tricks. First and foremost, we have this little lip. Anyone who knows about a Genesis longboard has heard about the infamous little protector over the battery charger port. Oh my goodness, it doesn't work at all. I don't know why they designed it this way. It literally does not fit. So I heard in another video online that I saw you could maybe possibly trim it and that might work. They didn't actually do it, but I thought, you know what, that sounds right. I looked at it myself. I got my trusty MacGyver pocket knife out and I trimmed away and it worked. It's perfectly fine now. If I shove it in there hard, it will stay in for the entirety of the ride and not fall out. So that is probably my biggest contribution to the Genesis community. It may hurt your soul a little to cut your new product, but do it. If you shave the rubber lip off, it will work absolutely amazing. So please do it. Secondly, when you're taking a stance on a longboard, bend your knees. Now this is just basic. If you've ever been on a skateboard or a longboard, you should know this. So I'll leave a link in the description to a guy who does a great video about this. I've watched it many times before I even got this board. Bend your knees, lean into the turns. You got to lower your center of gravity or you're just going to fall off. The more momentum you have when you're turning, the more you can lean off the board. It's pretty cool. It's called centripetal force and it works pretty awesome. Thank you, physics. Do not ride when it is rainy. I know it says it's water resistant, but that does not mean it is impervious to damage of water. Don't ride it in the rain. I rode it after it rained, so it wasn't actually raining when I rode it. Mistake. It was scary. I'm hoping that's not the problem with my board. Well, that could also make problems with my board, but I'm hoping that's not the problem. The rain. I kind of left that out of my message to customer service, but never mind. At high speeds, be very careful. Please, if you've loosened your trucks and you're going as fast as possible, it will start to wobble and it is darn scary. You can fall off very easily and trust me, it will hurt. My brother did and he skinned himself quite a bit. It's not too bad, but if he would have landed any faster, I would not want to be him. On that note, wear a helmet. I know, it's not cool. It's not fun. Wear one. You don't have to wear anything else if you don't want to. Wear a helmet. It's worth your safety. I'll give the link in the description to another video of people on electric longboards where a guy basically nearly died. I know it takes 20 minutes to say wear your helmet in the video, but do it. If you're just starting out, wear elbow pads, wear knee pads. Trust me, some of my other friends fell off when they were testing it and they skinned themselves in those places, so be careful. Watch out for the grip tape too. The grip tape is very grippy. It's sandpaper essentially, and I'm a noob. I'm a pleb when it comes to longboards, and I didn't know anything, so I'm just grabbing it all over the place, thinking you can grab it everywhere you want. Ouch, don't do that. The second your hand slips or scrapes across it, it scraped up my hands. It took a layer of skin off. Now, it's very slight, so it just looks like I got roughed up. But after it's healed, I have less feeling in this thumb from doing that, which is a little scary. So be wary of brand new grip tape on the longboard. The wheels get very, very hot. When the wheels go round and round, they also create very much friction and electric current, and it heats up those motors. So when you're, okay, hold on. Make sure not to touch this side because the motors are in the wheel right here. If you touch the top or the bottom, you'll be okay. Also be wary of the trucks. The trucks will be very warm, and these two wires leading to the wheels will also be very hot. So be careful of that. Now let's talk about the battery real quick. So the battery you can replace, like I've said before, very good idea. You can take this little pin out right here, and then you can use it to jar the thumb screws and then take them out. You then can remove the battery and stick in a new one. I don't have a new one, so this is just the same battery. And when I stick it back in, we'll just assume it's a new battery. I could go for another 30 minutes until it slows down to where it's practically useless. Ugh. But I love this board. I know I haven't said that before. When you're not using the battery, please keep it fully charged. Soon as you come home and you get off, plug it in, let it be charging. The more you keep the battery fully charged, the longer it will last. Store it in a room temperature place. If you do that, you will also increase battery life. Be gentle hitting bumps. You will scratch the casing. If you look underneath here, there are specific spots where this can be scratched. You don't want to scratch it there. Now, there are no recorded cases that I have seen of this yet in the Genesis longboard, but this is a LiPo battery. LiPo batteries can explode. It has mini cells and it will explode. There's a Sam and Nico video, if you watch their channel, great channel, you should watch it, where they shot one with an arrow and it goes up about 6-7 feet. This thing can explode. It's still a battery. Be very careful when you handle it. If you puncture it at all, throw it away very quickly. Do not touch it. It will most likely explode. Be careful with it. Don't let it get too hot. I can't really say much else about it. Maintenance. Now, to talk about maintenance, it's pretty easy. In the same video that I mentioned earlier in the description, when I talked about the guy who said how to ride the longboard, he also includes a maintenance section. It pretty much applies to this too. If you have a rubber stick, which essentially is used for cleaning grip tape, do that every so often, every few months. You want to keep your grip tape clean. You could just do it once a year. Reasons for keeping the grip tape clean is that you don't want to ride in the rain and get muddy, because if you do, the grip tape will get less grippy. And when it gets less grippy, all that's keeping you on that board is the slight friction that you're getting against your shoes or your feet. And when you don't have that grip tape, you're going to fly off the board. So you can replace your grip tape every few months. You don't have to. I know I won't be doing that, but it will keep you at optimal gripness. It's easy. All you need is a razor and you can get it off and you can put new ones on. Take the wheels off every so often and clean the bearings. The same thing applies to those. Mud and water damage, well, not damage, but mud and water can get in there and cause the bearings to bind up and get less lubricated. Take off your wheels, clean the bearings out, put a few drops of lubricant on them, and then put them back on the board. That way you'll keep rolling in style. And all I have left for maintenance is just saying store it in a room where it's room temperature. If you don't have the battery in it, then store this thing wherever you want. But if you have the battery installed, like you probably will most of the time, keep it stored in room temperature. The higher the temperature is that you have it stored in, the higher the chance of it blowing up there is. Also, it decreases battery life. So I do that a lot. This is my first video on camera, and goodness, I keep doing the thumb thing. Like, what am I? What am I? What am I? Like Naruto? Data bio. Alright, so that's basically all I have for my comprehensive review of the Genesis longboard. I know there's plenty others out there on YouTube. If there's a video, article, or anything out there on the internet about a Genesis longboard, trust me, I have read it, and that's not a lie. I've watched every video there is on YouTube, even the one that have a few views by somebody you've never heard of, which is also me. So I hope that helped you. I hope this will give you a better idea of how to buy these, and if you want to buy these. I got mine for about $480. That is an insanely good deal, as these are usually $800. They are on sale right now. They were about $560, then they dropped down to $460, or no, excuse me, $480, because they have very few left in stock. So if you're gonna get one right now when this video is released, because they're still on sale and they're great. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. We're almost to 100 subscribers. Oh my gosh. I've been talking with my brother and I'm like, well, what should I do about 100 subscribers? I don't know. I'll get something out there, but thank you so much guys for watching and for looking at everything that I do. It's so much fun for me to make these videos, and I can't wait to do more things for everyone who's watching. You guys are awesome. I love all you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!